The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Police investigating the country's latest homicide. Prime Minister Davis says the Bahamas will not be dictated to, and the Bahamas not engaged in forced labor. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, March 13th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll get a preview of an upcoming event, Zest Festival. We'll find out what that's all about. And later, we were to do it yesterday, but we're going to do it today. World Consumer Rights Day is fast approaching. We'll get details about consumer rights and what's happening here in the Bahamas to commemorate the day. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, police investigate a man stabbed to death at the Smith's Motel on East Street South. It happened early this morning. Details still coming in. We'll have the very latest in our 8 o'clock news broadcast. Prime Minister Philip Davis says that the Bahamas will not be dictated to or abandon its national priorities to fit neatly within the designs of others. While he did not specify whom he was referring to, Davis's remarks came amid threats of United States visa sanctions on current or former Cuban government officials and others, including foreign government ministers who were believed to be responsible for or involved in a Cuban labor export program, particularly Cuba's overseas medical missions. The policy also applies to immediate families of such individuals. The Prime Minister says that while the Bahamas is a small nation, size does not define influence. He delivering a speech at the RF Bahamas Economic Outlook Conference at Bahamar yesterday, saying, quote, "We will not allow our voices to be dulled, our national interests are not served by side engagement." He said, engagement does not mean compromise. We will not abandon our national priorities to fit neatly within the designs of others. We will not be pressured into choices that do not serve the best interests of our people. Now, the Prime Minister also said that the Bahamas has made its choice, embracing international opportunities as partnership between equals. He said, quote, "We will not be dictated to and we will not be sidelined. When the future is written, it will be clear. The Bahamas stood firm, spoke with clarity, and claimed its place in the world." Well, in a statement last month, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the visa sanctions are an expansion of an existing Cuba-related visa restriction policy that targets forced labor export program The U.S. State Department has already taken steps to impose visa restrictions on several individuals, including Venezuelans, under this expanded policy. The Bahamas employs a significant number of Cuban nurses in the public healthcare system to offset staff shortages, and Cuban teachers have also been employed in the public school system. The Prime Minister touched on the turbulent geopolitical climate, saying isolationism is not the answer and that global partnerships are needed. Prime Minister Davis also saying that the Bahamas is not engaged in any forced labor practices, pointing to programs that have been vital for the country, especially in the wake of COVID-19, when many Bahamian healthcare workers took more lucrative jobs in the U.S. Attorney General Ron has been thorough in its handling of the aftermath of the explosion of a SpaceX Starship rocket over the Bahamas last week, saying that they've done their due diligence on the matter and retained expert counsel on space law matters. He said, quote, "We did a complete evaluation, and even post-incident, we continue to do a complete evaluation, and we're tied in on a daily basis on what is happening on recovery and on cleanup and any liability that may exist." As you may recall, that rocket, which came apart shortly after its launch from Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas last Thursday, scattered debris across the Bahamas and raised concern among the public over possible environmental impacts. Pinder noted that the incident is being governed by international treaties, which the Bahamas and the United States are partners to. A jury acquitting a man accused of murder and attempted murder. Lorenzo Cheddar Wilson was accused of the April 7, 2020 murder of Deanna twin Gordon and the attempted murder of Superintendent Warren Johnson. Gordon was at an auto body shop when a black car pulled up on Hampton Street here in New Providence, and three masked gunmen in black clothing got out. They fired a barrage of gunshots at Gordon. Johnson, who was in the area, drew his gun and fired at the shooters, who returned fire at him but missed. Johnson was not wearing his uniform. The gunmen got back into their car, and he recognized Wilson as one of the passengers as the car drove off at about 5 miles per hour. Defense lawyer Tonique Williams told jurors it was unlikely that the people responsible for a broad daylight shooting would drive away so slowly. She noted that the account from another witness that the car sat made more sense. Lewis pointed out that Wilson told police that Gordon was his friend and that he was with his girlfriend when the murder occurred. The girlfriend was called as an alibi witness. A man denied killing his romantic rival while being questioned by police. That's coming out of a Supreme Court trial. Lyndon Williams is on trial for the August 4th, 2019 murder of Cabrera Wells, the younger brother of former Health Minister Renard Wells. Williams, who was on bail, has denied the allegation at his trial before Justice Janine Weish Gomez. Wells was ambushed and shot by a gunman alleged to be Williams. After he arrived at the apartment he shared with his girlfriend on Rowland Street in Ridgeland Park. Assistant Superintendent of Police Tiffany Crawley Hamilton testified that she interviewed Williams about the murder allegation on August 16th and 17th, 2019. In the interview, Williams acknowledged that he had a sexual relationship with Wells' girlfriend, Shantia McKenzie, in April and May of 2019. Williams said that he cut her loose in July after learning that her boyfriend was a gunman. You can read more about this trial in today's Nassau Guardian. Overseas, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio may be walking into unusually unfriendly territory this week when he meets his counterparts from the group of 7 industrial democracies, strong American allies, stunned by U.S. President Donald Trump's actions against them. Just hours after Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs kicked in, prompting responses from the European Union and Canada, and threatening to ignite full-scale trade wars with close U.S. partners, Rubio arrived at the scenic Quebec town of La Malin. 2 days of talks starting today with the top diplomats of Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. All of them have been angered by the new American president's policies. Rubio will likely be hearing a litany of complaints about Trump's decisions from once friendly, like-minded countries in the G7, notably Canada, to which Trump has arguably been most antagonistic, with persistent talk of becoming the 51st U.S. state, additional tariffs, and repeated insults against its leadership. Meanwhile, Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly, the official host who will see each participant separately, said that, quote, in every single meeting, I will raise the issue of tariffs to coordinate a response with the Europeans and to put pressure on the Americans. And a powerful gang coalition has launched new attacks on Haiti's capital, driving dozens of families from homes as police vowed Wednesday to hold the gunmen back. Authorities evacuated students at a Catholic school in western Port-au-Prince as heavy gunfire continued in the area near the renowned Olofsson Hotel, which once attracted international celebrities in the 1970s and 80s. Meanwhile, cries for help emerged on social media for a group of priests trapped inside a church in one neighborhood, which endured much of the attack by the Vive Ensemble gang that began late Tuesday. The deputy spokesman for Haiti's National Police telling a press conference, quote, they're trying to take more areas, but police are there making sure that doesn't happen. He said police have new plans to fight gangs that already control 85% of Haiti's capital, but declined to provide details, citing safety reasons. He noted that the police recently seized 10,000 bullets, weapons, and drugs from a minibus in a town. He said 2 of the 4 people carrying the ammunition were lynched by a mob on Sunday, while the others escaped. In sports, a great comeback for Team Bahamas and an exhilarating match last night, securing a thrilling victory 3-2 over the United States, the region's top-ranked team at the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships, as they continue today at Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Facility, again beating the U.S. 3-2. Bahamas bounced back after a hurtful loss to Panama on Tuesday and won 3-2 over the U.S., gaining the all-important 3 points in the standings with the win. This puts the Bahamas in a favorable position as they prepare to take on Trinidad and Tobago tonight at 8 p.m. A win will put the Bahamas into the tournament semifinals on Saturday. The result over the U.S. is significant, as this is the Bahamas' first ever victory over the Americans in beach soccer. And the government schools are now off and running, and the CH3's Raptors and the CV Bethel Stingrays have taken charge in the GSSA Track and Field Championships, the junior division, while the Stingrays are out front among the seniors at the 3-day meet, which got underway yesterday at the original track and field, the Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. In the junior division, the Raptors got off to a strong defense of their title as they collected 377.5 points on day one. S.C. McPherson Sharks are second with 332.5 points. D.W. Davis rounding out the top 3 with 233 points. Again, the Raptors are aiming for a 5th straight title. In the senior division, the Stingrays have sprinted off to an early lead with 231 points. The C.R. Walker Knights are going for an 8th straight title. They are second so far with 203 points. And the C.C. Sweeting Cobras are third with 111 points, followed by the R.M. Bailey Pacers in 4th. And GHS Government High School 5th with 100 points. More details in today's Guardian Sports section. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, we are looking at some warmer temperatures, but pleasant conditions accompanied by plenty of sunshine and clear skies across most of the country today through tonight. As the surface ridge is shifting east into the Atlantic, that's going to provide for more warm conditions and east to southeasterly flows across the area. Rainfall chances will increase by Friday due to the presence of an eastward moving trough north of the northern Bahamas. By Saturday, winds are going to pick up and continue through the weekend as the pressure gradient tightens across the area. By Monday, another cold front is going to move into the area. That's going to move off the Florida coast and move into the northern islands. High pressure will quickly build behind it, and some cooler temperatures expected. Strong gusty winds as that front moves into the southern Bahamas by Tuesday. Beachgoers and swimmers are advised today to exercise caution due to the moderate risk of rip currents lingering along eastern and Atlantic beaches. So didn't quite get as cool. Some areas seeing the upper 50s and low 60s. But for today, we're looking at mostly sunny conditions, turning mostly fair and cool tonight. That's going to be for most areas. Less than a 10% chance of showers across the country. Winds southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots for the northern islands and east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots for the rest of the country, including the central and northwestern islands and New Providence, and for the southeastern Bahamas, easterly at 10 to 15 knots. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs around 78, 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight still expected to be in the upper 50, around 59 Fahrenheit, 61 Fahrenheit. That's about 15, 16 Celsius. We'll have more on your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner with increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools. Take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
Calling all Alive Fiber basketball fans. Get ready to experience the NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not 1, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our Alive NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA. Don't miss out. Visit AliveFiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and the right way. With Custom Computers, call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Hope all's well with you.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful stuff. We've got a lot to talk about this morning, a lot going on, including in our interviews. We're going to get details about Zest Festival, which is coming up in just a few weeks. We'll find out what that's all about. World Consumer Rights Day, and that is being observed here in the Bahamas as well. We're going to get into that this morning in business. So that's all ahead, but let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, so I don't know if everyone's going to be up for it. That's tonight. There's a lunar eclipse, and we should be able to see it here around midnight, beginning around that time, 11:57. They're saying, and the full eclipse around 3 a.m. And tomorrow will be back to normal with the full moon emerging there. So hey, that's exciting if you can stay up. Or if you're a night owl. Laverne, I don't know if you're interested in that kind of stuff, but that's pretty cool.
Dwight, I am interested, but...
You're going to be up?
No.
Right?
No, I won't be.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Maybe when I wake up, I'll catch the end of it.
The old Laverne would have been up, and I would have been waiting for it, but this new Laverne...
Oh boy. And the drive in...
I try to be in bed by 10:30.
I hear you. The drive in this morning, though, it's not fully full yet, but that's quite an impressive moon that you can see this morning, right just before sunup now. But so it's going to be spectacular if you can see it tomorrow or tonight. Tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. So, yeah. So if you're out, take some pictures, send them to us. We'd love to see that. And my voice is cooperating for now, but I don't know if it's going to hold up for the whole show. I was out at the beach soccer last night, and I'm so happy to see Team Bahamas defeat the United States. Well, not yet. We're going to see. Tonight is important for Trinidad and Tobago. If we beat Trinidad and Tobago, definitely. But to the semifinals. But it just felt really good to beat the United States, though.
You know, Dwight, I often think sometimes that the amount of pleasure that I get, not just from us winning, but from us beating particular countries. Like, perhaps I need to seek professional help.
I don't think it's just you.
The pleasure is multiplied.
I don't think it was just you. We lost to Panama the night before. That was a tough loss because it was a tie and they went to penalty kicks, and that's always problematic. But to defeat the U.S. in regulation, very special. And the crowd was pretty good last night. It started off a little slow, but I think it was even bigger than the night before. And folks, this is a free event, and it is most entertainment you'll have with a free event in a long time.
And it's an opportunity to support the Bahamas, right?
Absolutely.
To support the team, to come out and just support them, just cheer them on.
Great stuff.
And it's free.
Great stuff, and highly entertaining. Again, so it's there's a story about it in today's Guardian Sports section as well. And this is the first time they've ever beaten the Americans, the top-ranked team in CONCACAF beach soccer. And the guys were here last week, and they said, don't mind the rankings. That doesn't mean anything. You will see. And they are on their way to proving that. And so we're really hoping to destroy. Should you use words like that? Destroy Trinidad and Tobago? I don't know if you should use such language.
No.
We not the country, just the team.
Yeah. No, we don't have to use the word.
You don't have to use that word? Sorry.
We just want to make sure that we get the win. That's it, Dwight. That's all you had to say.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Sure. Beat them? Okay, that sounds like that.
Win.
In 2025, beat them could be problematic for the woke folks too, right?
Beat them could be problematic, is it?
Get the victory.
Just say we want.
The victory over Trinidad and Tobago tonight. We really need to do that.
Get the victory.
8 o'clock, folks. Come on out and support the Junkanoo boys as they make this quest to go to the World Cup of Beach Soccer, which is in May in Seychelles. So
please come out and support. For everyone who's listening, once you get there, look for Dwight. He's going to buy everyone who comes out a soft drink.
All right. I don't know which Dwight that is, but okay. So the
Dwight Strachan from Morning
you're an instigator. I am. This story in this Guardian Sports section. So the win puts the Bahamas in a favorable position as they prepare to face Trinidad and Tobago in the crucial match tonight. A win will put the Bahamas into the tournament semifinals on Saturday. And so if they win this, they definitely have to come out on Saturday as well. And then the finals are Sunday. But as they said, the top 2 teams will advance to the World Cup. So that is great stuff there. All right, so we are waking up to news of another homicide. A man stabbed to death. We're waiting for the details on that. Stay tuned to our 8 o'clock news for that. Not sure what the circumstances are, but he was at a motel and was stabbed to death. Boy. The other big story, this is odd. So the headline in the Nassau Guardian, PM, Bahamas will not be dictated to. Davis says national interests will be protected. This is related to a story that was in the Tribune yesterday about forced labor with Cubans and the Americans cracking down on it. I'm paraphrasing a lot there, but anyway, I will withhold opinion until after we read some of these articles. Yeah, so I'll get to what the Prime Minister has to say about this. Because it's just he's not directing the comments to anybody explicitly, but you need to read between the lines. But let's begin with this story. So Bahamas is not engaged in forced labor. Our LaTanya Roberts writing that Prime Minister Philip Davis said yesterday the Bahamas is not engaged in any forced labor practices. He was responding to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who recently announced visa sanctions against governments that are part of Cuba's overseas medical missions. The program has been vital for the Bahamas, especially in the wake of COVID-19, when many Bahamian healthcare workers took more lucrative jobs in the U.S. So Rubio described the program as forced labor and said that the new U.S. policy will affect government officials who are responsible for or involved in the Cuban labor export program. When asked how the policy will affect the Bahamas, Prime Minister Davis said, quote, "First of all, the decision is based upon the fact that there is a belief that we are engaging in forced labor by hiring Cubans. Our laws, starting from our Constitution, prohibit that kind of engagement. This government does not intend to engage in any forced labor. It's against our laws, and we are a country of laws. But we've indicated that we will review. We don't think that we have done it, and we will review where we are and get back to them in due course." Davis made the comments on the sidelines of the RF Bahamas Economic Outlook Conference at Bahamar yesterday. In a statement yesterday, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Fred Mitchell, said, quote, "Government is considering the policy of the Americans, but the Bahamas believes that it follows all international best practices in the recruitment of labor." The new policy by the Americans was announced on February 25th. Rubio wrote in a statement, quote, "This expanded policy applies to current or former Cuban government officials and other individuals, including foreign government officials, who are believed to be responsible for or involved in the Cuban labor export program, particularly Cuba's overseas medical missions. This policy also applies to the immediate family of such persons." This is the threat to revoke their visas. Right? The State Department has already taken steps to impose visa restrictions on several individuals, including Venezuelans, under this expanded policy. Now, in 2023, 37 Cuban healthcare professionals were recruited to work in the Bahamas healthcare system. In 2022, 50 Cuban nurses were recruited to work. The new U.S. policy also sparked backlash from other Caribbean government leaders. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, said that he was prepared to protect his country's sovereignty, saying, quote, "We rely on a lot of our healthcare delivery on certain specialists who, over the decades, we have obtained from India, the Philippines, sometimes from Africa, and mainly from Cuba. Out of the blue, we are now being called human traffickers because we hire technical people whom we pay top dollar, equal to local rates, but we are now being accused of taking part in a program where people are being exploited." Rowley continued, quote, "That's somebody's interpretation, and of course, there are local people here encouraging them to take away our U.S. visas. I just came back from California, and if I never go back there again in my life, I will ensure that the sovereignty of Trinidad and Tobago is known to its people and respected by all." Well, so this is crazy. This is crazy, and, we, at the risk of having any future visas revoked, Marco Rubio is known for crazy. What is going on here? These are people who are being paid. These are people who probably are more than likely very happy to be not in Cuba. What is this overreach? And on so many issues, what is going on with the United States? On every single thing. Before we get to the Prime Minister's comments, let's get your views on that, folks. Forced labor. Now, the U.S. would know a lot about forced labor, but, is this forced labor? Come on, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. What do you think's going on here? What in God's name is going on here? Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Miller Brian. Miss God, how you doing, Poppy? Everything
Good
cool? Thank God for
morning.
life, man.
Hear your voice.
I love hearing your voice too, man. I like when you share and shout at me. I guess I'm missing teeth in the front of my with all my gums showing. I started smiling, mom. Anyhow, Dwight.
Wow. Hey.
Hey, Dwight. Oh, Dwight. Sorry.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Dwight. I don't want to say this one. I heard the news last night. I be looking for things that support the Prime Minister, right? Because people that think you don't like him, or you say it's PLP or something, or you have something personal, just disappointed with this action and feel like they could do more, for the whole country, not just for me personally. I like what he said last night, Dwight. Dwight, can you hear me?
I'm listening, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of should like what he said. I hear you saying something with the Trinidadian president and the rest of them, right? I know if they're in support of what he's saying. Right?
No, they're all saying the same thing. I mean, the Trinidadian Prime Minister is a little more...
to the point.
Yeah, I guess.
A little less diplomatic.
Right. I mean, I liked it, but the Prime Minister is being very diplomatic.
Speaking, especially the part where I think I hear you say, we've been doing this long time, man.
Yeah.
We've been getting them from these countries, India and the rest of them, right?
Absolutely.
And even in the Bahamas, I think we've been doing it a long time. Like, everybody know, well, Pop is a fan of Donald Trump, but what he's saying, right? I don't know if there's something come directly from him or Marco Rubio, them, the Secretary General.
Sure, it came directly from him, Papa.
Huh?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
Rubio...
Sure, it came directly from him.
I mean, we have to look at Rubio's
So you
background.
say directly from Trump?
I don't know if that's true. I mean, it could be, but...
fake news, eh?
No, it's not fake news. But, I mean, Rubio's history and his background, right, being a Cuban-American...
There's people say racist. You think so?
I have no idea, and that's not. I don't think that's what this is about. But
No.
I think knowing the history and the pain there's a lot of pain there. Now that he's in a position to stick it to Cuba, that could be a major influencing factor.
And up messing with us. I think. A lot of us here who might be fans of Donald Trump and that administration, we saying we hope they don't fool us like how they fool them with the rest of the world. When I hear him talk about Greenland, by any means, I start thinking about it, and I start thinking, but maybe the majority of us wouldn't mind going with America. But this is the point, Rachel. I don't think we could afford Prime Minister, like how he does switchy. Like I say, the Prime Minister, I like everything what he had to say. How he let switchy sometimes come out today and say something and switch it back tomorrow, especially if pressure there. I hope he don't switch. In other words, what I mean is, I hope we don't drop this program, man. Whatsoever them Cubans would be helping with the teachers, the doctors, the nurses, all that. It's sad to say, I don't want to participate in wrong, right? If they get treated bad,
what's wrong?
Treat the wrong
We
way,
have
like
no
American
evidence to
president knows,
support
right?
that at all.
Huh?
There's no evidence to support that at all.
I know. So I should have said if it's any truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
If it was any truth to it, right? We should not participate in it, right? But I think that's for them workers, them doctors and nurses, and the Cuban people to work with their government. I know it's sad. I know they might not cost it on themselves to be communists like that, and all their money goes straight to the government, but that's the way they live in. I mean, and we want their savings and we won't participate, right?
Well, what the government should do, thanks, Papa, really appreciate it. What they should do is release the numbers of who wants to stay once their time is over. I bet you that's a large number. Large number who like the Bahamas so much that they'd like to stay.
I think we also just have to be very careful of these new policies that are coming into play and things that are being said that
From
we make
the
sure
U.S.?
From the U.S. That
We have to be
make sure-
careful?
We have to be careful that let me finish my thought.
Sure, sorry.
Can I finish
yes,
my
yes,
thought,
ma'am. Yes,
Dwight?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay.
We have to be careful that we protect our sovereignty,
Mm-hmm.
is what I want to say.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that we are doing what is right for the Bahamas. And so as you see changes being made, as we see whatever is coming out, whether it's a tariff, whatever, we have to make decisions that are in the best interest of our people. Because America, as they should, as I continue to say. So let's make sure that we are looking out for us.
Now, that's very interesting how you put that like that, because what about that sounds like they're looking out for America, trying to crack down on people who are involved in the forced labor of Cubans.
No, I'm just.
Well, I mean,
talking
right?
in general.
But yes, I understand.
this-
but for this one, what's this
Dwight,
about?
This doesn't even make any sense.
Not
to
a
me,
bit of
if I'm
sense.
honest.
Not one
It
bit
does
of
not
sense.
make any sense to me.
No.
I don't know, sometimes if people just want to have something to say. And even if it is not coming straight from Donald Trump, I think that people are taking his tone. You know what I mean?
They want to
So-
make life as hard as possible for the Cubans. And this would greatly affect a lot of people who are thankful to probably be out of that country and be in other parts of the world. And whatever it will take to break the back of the regime there, they're going. And
Yeah, but you're also breaking the back of the people.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
Well,
when you do that, they rise up against the leadership, and then there's change, and then the U.S. can sweep in and be the savior.
And we have proof that these things have created change in that country when these kinds of decisions have been made.
That is one of the most resilient countries in the whole world. Right?
This is what I'm saying. Like, you make these very hard decisions in hopes of gaining what?
Yeah.
Because change hasn't come yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it has been how many years?
It's before I was born. All right, so let me just read the Prime Minister's comments to this. Again, he didn't say it in as plain language as that. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can get an idea of what he's thinking. So our Tanika Thompson writing. Well, yeah, pretty much.
I'm sorry.
I mean, a very diplomatic way. I mean, you didn't say, if I never go to the U.S. again, it'll be whatever. Who gives a flying whatever, right? No, didn't say it like that, but So, Prime Minister Davis said yesterday the Bahamas will not be dictated to or abandon its national priorities to fit neatly within the designs of others. While he did not specify whom he was referring to, Davis's remarks coming amid threats of the U.S. visa sanctions on current or former Cuban government officials and others, including foreign government ministers who are believed to be responsible for or involved in a Cuban labor export program, particularly Cuba's overseas medical missions. The policy also applies to the immediate families of such people. Davis saying, quote, "We will not allow our voices to be dulled. Our national interests are not served by, let me be equally clear, engagement does not mean compromise. We will not abandon our national priorities to fit neatly within the designs of others. We will not be pressured into choices that do not serve the best interests of our people. Within our strategic development framework, we must ensure that our solutions, even when reliant on international support and partnerships, always prioritize the well-being of our people first. The Bahamas has made its choice. We embrace international opportunities as a partnership between equals. We will not be dictated to, and we will not be sidelined. When the future is written, it will be clear. The Bahamas stood firm, spoke with clarity, and claimed its place in the world." So Davis also touched on the turbulent geopolitical climate.
Well said.
Yeah, I think it was pretty well said. That is actually very well said.
Kudos to whoever wrote that.
Why you got to put it like that? Kudos
Well
to
put
Prime Minister
together.
Davis for his
I'm sorry.
his
Let me
stance.
stop. Let me stop. Kudos to our Prime Minister. That was well said.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
And it
I
can
love
be
that.
applied to anybody, not just one country that's trying to stir up some stuff right now. Anybody in the future or anybody thinking about it right now, that's the message to all of you, right?
Yeah.
The Prime Minister also touched on the turbulent geopolitical climate is not the answer right now, and global partnerships are needed. Now, you know who that's for. In every era of history, the world has confronted moments of uncertainty, times when the established order appeared to fray, when the assumptions of one generation no longer served the realities of the next. Today, we find ourselves at such a juncture. Economic instability, geopolitical realignments, and shifting power dynamics have left many nations grappling with questions of uncertainty, or of security, rather, growth and reliance and relevance in an ever-evolving global landscape. We are engaged in external dialogue and relationships not because they are preference, but because they are necessary. Isolationism is not a strategy for success. It is a recipe for decline. No, David said
Some
that.
good stuff today,
Very
Dwight.
good. It's beautiful. No, I do think you can thank the speechwriter there. That's pretty poetic almost. David said,
I love this.
yeah. David said, while globalization is not perfect, it has reshaped modern economics and lifted millions out of poverty. He said the challenges of globalization, such as economic imbalances, shifting labor markets, and external vulnerabilities, are real, but they cannot be addressed. Okay. Good stuff there from Prime Minister Davis.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I just want to say, yeah, I am in total agreement.
Let's get your reaction to it, folks. More calls coming in. Text line lit up as well. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
Good morning, Laverne.
Good morning, GNN.
Everybody okay?
Doing well. Voice a little sore from all the cheering, but I'm going to make it.
Yeah, well, Dwight, that was good. Good show last night. Good showing last night.
Yeah,
Dwight, let me
excellent.
tell you something, yeah? See America there? And with Trump at the helm, I don't want Brave Davis. He need to choose his words wisely. That man here, he no good. See, I ain't kept getting mixed up with all them flurry and stuff like that because you, and as much as I love you and Laverne this morning, you're all off base. You're a little bit off base. America means the Bahamas too, because we've been bringing in Cubans here, and what y'all don't understand, the thing that we engage with those Cubans, when we bring those nurses and we bring whoever we bring through here, those Cubans are forced into slavery because they don't get paid directly. They just like the Chinese.
Where are you getting that from? Where are you getting
Pardon
that
me?
from? Where are you getting that from?
What you mean by getting it from, Dwight? And I know people, and I know some things. They don't get paid directly. I speak to some of them to the hospital. Their money goes to the Cuban government, and they get a percentage. That is what America is talking about. That is what they're talking about. The same thing with the Chinese that work on those hotels. Those Chinese with the communist country, they don't get no money in their hand. That's why when things happen for them, they go and they mask themselves together and they march by the Chinese embassy. America know exactly what they're saying. And Brave and the Bahamas, we is a pimple on America's backside. We need to be very careful to America. And remember, there's only 2 or 3 pre-clearance around this world. America know exactly what they say. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. It's a very serious claim. If that is accurate, then that is a massive problem. That
For sure.
is that is awful.
Absolutely.
If that is the case.
Yeah. If that is what's happening, I guess it would be futile for us to expect someone for government to call and explain.
Well,
we're putting out there so that we can get an understanding then of the arrangement.
So let's say that is
not
the case.
going to happen.
If that is the case, what should happen now, Laverne? Should they revoke the visas? Because I mean, like, this is kind of crazy for real.
Like,
yeah, well, okay, Rubio, we support you.
I don't know. I didn't go that far.
Well, I mean, this is what the.
I'm
And
going to
as you say, we cannot expect to get the truth from
yeah.
anybody.
Yeah, I'm but the truth.
Oh my God!
What does happen? What exactly does happen? Now, GNN has
I feel like Donald Trump. One day tariff, next day no tariff.
Okay.
What's happening? Oh boy!
GNN has come and called in and said some things. We just need this to be verified, please. Because if this
What
is
is
the
the
case,
truth?
then we having another conversation. How does this work?
Let's go back to talking about beach soccer. Let's go back to talking about beach soccer.
So Team Bahamas.
Go Team Bahamas.
Junkanoo Beach boy.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, well, you know, because it sounds like that really sounds quite plausible.
Oh.
But
As he was saying it, I was like, "Oh Lord!"
that man,
In
would
my
they really
head,
do that?
As GNN was talking, I was like, "Uh-oh." Wait a minute.
That's definitely forced labor. Okay.
Mind you, I still like with the prime.
It's beautiful. Those are nice words.
thing.
Somebody's texting. That's Chat GPT. Chat GPT writes great speeches. You all are very mean.
Oh,
very
Lord.
mean. Very, very mean. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. What bombshell do you have for us now?
Yeah.
Well, I could drop one, but good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Yeah, we already had SpaceX dropping it on us. We don't need any more.
I would like to direct, I think it's GNN, he can probably, there's a free studio broadcasting. He can set up his own radio station, OBS Studio it's called. I could assist him with setting it up, and I would subscribe to his channel.
Now, why are you doing that? You're part of the Guardian family. So is GNN.
But I'm just saying you can have competition.
What?
I don't think he would mind the competition because he seems to be breaking news. But
Hello?
that's all right. Listen.
What's happening here? What's happening here?
I don't know what's
You
going
asked
on.
me to drop a
Let's
bomb.
focus. Let's focus. Let's focus, please.
I was going to drop a bomb, so I stopped. Listen, the Prime Minister said that we are a nation of laws. What he need to include is that we are a nation of law enforcement. Because when you look at it...
You don't want him to lie.
Huh?
You don't want him to lie, though.
Yeah, well, that would be lying then, hey. Would that be lying?
It would be half-truths.
suggesting?
Half-truths if you were to say that, because it's very selective.
But you know, on a more serious note, I'm concerned about this nursing program that we have. You know, there are a lot of young males and females who are in the 12th grade. I know a lot of them. And they're not doing too well as it comes to the scholastic. You know, they're not getting these grades right because some are caught up in a family structure where they can't get to school on time and they don't have internet. And it's a complicated thing, but they could be great nurses. And I'm wondering people who have caring, because I know a young girl, she's 15, and she spends, instead of going to school, she has to go walk around interpreting for people. And I asked her, well, that's a career, you know, and these people need to be paying you for this. But she's missing her school, but she will be a great nurse. Are we trying to find these people and bring them in so we don't have to be using slaves from other countries?
It's a very
strange
word there used. I don't know why you...
Right.
My God.
Yeah.
Boy. What's happening here today?
Oh,
gosh. Woo!
I think, Dwight, we should have gone with
beat soccer.
My earlier suggestion.
Oh,
I think we should have.
It's an inside joke.
Because it looks like it's happening anyway.
Oh, man. Hey, what about Team Bahamas beating the U.S. last night? That was great stuff. Beat soccer.
I don't know. Now I'm concerned about the team. Who all is playing on the team?
Is the Cuban team here? Or are they being forced to...
Who all is playing on now I'm questioning everything.
Well.
Now I'm going to go to the hospital and be asked, is it everything okay?
Are you getting paid? Are you getting paid? Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning, Lauren.
Good morning.
Hi. Yes, Dwight, Lauren. Why the Bahamas ain't moving into the area of trying to be more self-sufficient when it relates and setting up more schools in this country to tackle the shortage of what we just be important, right, in this country, right? Like teachers or skills men, right? I mean, we could do more.
Well, I mean, the people have to want to do that, right? You have to want to be a teacher. You have to have the...
Yeah, Dwight, I understand. Dwight,
and I don't know if that is...
I sure we could find people in this country who wants to be a teacher.
And then who will be good teachers.
A lot of things, but they just ain't. It ain't that, you know, you have to sieve these people out of the crowd, man, you know. But if you build it, people will come to it, right? Sometimes people, you know, if they build these things, right, people will go to them, you know, Dwight. But for us not to have these things and then to say that, you know, ain't nobody coming on, nobody showing
I think
interest.
you're not... we have these. There are tons of people in teaching and nursing programs, right? Do they all find jobs? Not always. But I don't think there are a whole lot of people sitting around saying, if only I could be a teacher.
No, there ain't a whole lot of people sitting around for nothing, right? But see, this way the Bahamas just go wrong. We have a whole lot of our nurses who then move away from this country to find better pay, right? So all it means is we need to now find ways to pay our people so that they can stay home, Dwight.
Okay, see, now that's a different conversation, right? To pay people enough to attract them to teaching and to nursing, and to stay in nursing, that's a different story.
That's a different story.
So we do need to have that conversation. What can we do to keep people and attract people?
They can't connect, right? Because if I know that I could be getting paid a certain salary, then that might attract me to a certain career. If I could get those get those training right here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
You can get it.
Right?
You can get it, but will you want the pay? And that is a
Right, that's
constant.
part of the issue.
Yeah.
That is a part of the issue. We don't believe in taking care of our citizens. We don't believe in paying our citizens what they possibly entitled to on their soil. That's a major problem. That's the problem why the Bahamas is in the stew within, because we have leaders who don't believe in upgrading nothing when it relates to the Bahamian people.
Yeah.
Right? So we can always have that type of crisis. Right? It's the pity the salaries of our politicians them can't go down, so some of them can move to the next country and probably try to get their employment, get elected someplace else. But they keep in their salaries in a best condition. I mean, when they come, $28,000 for a member of parliament it ain't nothing. But what you could make through deals and round the corner deals and under the table deals, that's a drop in the bucket to what you carry home every year as a member of parliament. But we ain't trying to do nothing but them type of things. But right, at the end of today, right, our prime minister in this country, see, because our prime minister is not the country. He's there for 5 years, and this one possibly only could be 4, right? So he have to be careful for making statements to America, right? It's good to stand up, but America is petty, just like the PLP, right? So we have to be careful when we make threats or make try to make America.
He didn't call any
like
names. He didn't call any names at all.
Pardon?
He didn't call any names. He didn't. He just made them. He just said a thing. And,
no, I know he didn't call.
If your foot is hurting, then maybe do it directly.
No, but I'm just assuming. I know he did. I know he wasn't talking to Haiti, right? Right. So at the end of the day, right? We you and I didn't talk about this pre-clearance, right? It's only Canada, the Bahamas have pre-clearance, right? Coming going into America, right?
Hemisphere.
That's enough for any prime minister, right, to never be elected in this country, right? Even his name, if he's sitting there when the government when America snatched that from the Bahamas because we believe we could contest America, right?
Okay. We can't be paralyzed by that fear,
right? But right, final question.
Yeah, really quick.
Final. You heard about Brooks, right? The Brooks nation, right? All of this, Cuba became a part of the Brooks this year or last year, right? And all of that have America even more angry with Cuba because, Cuba now can have military ships from the Brooks nation parked right in the back of the yard, right? And America really playing those type of games. You remember when they went inside the place, the gentleman said he's looking for mass destruction, right? He had weapons of mass destruction, and they couldn't find one. So that's the reputation of America, man. They just sing these songs, right, to get the world to go against whoever they targeted, and then they just go in and snatch up all of the people resources and run home back with it. Man,
well, you got to stand up for yourself at some point. You can't be afraid. And he didn't make any threats or anything. Just said, "Hey, we got to do what we got to do in our best interest." And let's take.
Well, what should he have said?
I think he said the right things.
What should he have said?
I think he said the right
Right?
things. I think he said the right things.
I think so too, but we have people calling and you have to be careful. I'm confused because in one breath we said we have to stand up. This is a sovereign nation. We are the Bahamas. And in the next one, whoa, be careful what you say now.
Yeah, I don't understand. Do not be
What
afraid.
do we want?
If you
And you
plenty,
know what? It speaks to why we don't get the kind of change that we talk about, and like you and I have off air. We don't want to be uncomfortable for 5 minutes. if it will help to bring about lasting change.
Absolutely.
I don't think that the Prime Minister said anything other than what you would expect the leader of a sovereign nation to say.
All right, let's take this
And
call.
said it eloquently and diplomatically.
Absolutely. Let's take this calls quickly before we have to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, I sometimes it's better to be quiet. And the speechwriter said, but in a low position to even, I mean, like, America's all the Bahamas house. And brave to let Fred Mitchell write that speech for him to put the Bahamas.
We don't know if that's true. And you got to, like we said, yeah, folks, this is crazy. Come on now. Depending on the day, you're told or you'll do whatever anybody wants, and then the next day, oh, you can't stand up for your rights. Like, which one do you want? It's the same people who are going to say these things. It's very surprising. Or is it? Come on. Let's take this call, and we got to take the break. Good morning, you're on the air. Hi, good morning, are you there? Good morning, caller, you're on the air. All right, one more, and then we'll... Hi, good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
A question. Is there a Cuban embassy in America?
I cannot imagine. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. What's your point?
I think it's very
Turn on your radio for us, please.
I think America is being very hypocritical
Mm-hmm.
to put pressure on a country that's doing business with Cuba or doing business with China, putting sanctions and warning on a country, but they in turn do business with the same country. Do you agree?
Sure. That's not necessarily what's happening here, but yes. But not sanctions, but they often have a lot to say. Yes. You got to turn on your radio for us. But this has been happening since the 1960s, right? We remember when I remember this in the 90s. They were doing tours from here when that first started. The embassy had quite a lot to say about that. It's been happening. So, hey, and one more call. Let's take this, and then we'll go to the break. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Are you there?
Yeah, Dwight.
Hi.
I forget to say congratulations to the Junkanoo boys. Them. I wanted you sound like you say you being out there. So although I wasn't out there, are we showing up like they say it was free and everything? I want to be there to be the sixth man to support the team. Dwight, who are some of the persons that they talking about when they say officials with the visa? America taking about? They mean like the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Fred Mitchell, or who? What kind of officials they make?
This is about any country. It wasn't about.
Have a nice weekend, baby.
Okay, it wasn't about it was about anybody, including the Bahamas, but the countries that are in a partnership that they feel involves human exploitation. So they're saying government ministers, yeah. So it could be many or any, including their families. That's what we've inferred from what Marco Rubio wrote. So we will see. All right, so we're going to go to the news, and we're going to get to a lot of your text messages when we get back, and other stories making headlines on this Thursday morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. I gone by the bar, trying to catch a vibe. Met this pretty young thing, you should have seen them thighs. She start feeling up on me, my temperature rise. You think you can handle it, girl? Come meet me outside. We carry her home. We hop in my car, I carry her home. We hop in my car, I carry her home. We hop in my car, I carry her home. She sent me a message, so I checked my DM. Told me she available from AM to PM. I had to go buy protection, can't make her my BM. She got them big melons and I wanted to see
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Float, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:25, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin Williams Paints. We've got Surface Ridge shifting east into the Atlantic, providing much warmer conditions for us over the next couple of days. Rainfall chances will likely increase by Friday, though, due to the presence of an eastward moving trough north of the Bahamas. By Saturday, winds will pick up and continue into the weekend as the pressure gradient will tighten over the area. By Monday, another cold front is going to move into the northern Bahamas. It's going to move off the coast of Florida. High pressure will likely build across the area with another injection of cooler temperatures and strong gusty winds as that front moves into the southern Bahamas by Tuesday. So, beachgoers are being advised to exercise caution along eastern and Atlantic beaches as there's a moderate risk of rip currents today. For today, we're expecting a pleasant day, mostly sunny, turning mostly fair and cool tonight. Less than a 10% chance of showers across most islands. Look for high temperatures around 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight expected to dip into the 50s again. It didn't get down as cold as it was expected last night, but we could see lows in the upper 50s for some areas, hovering around 59 Fahrenheit. 15 Celsius, maybe even a little cooler. In your extended outlook for Friday, tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy at first, becoming partly to mostly sunny during the afternoon and fair at night. A 20% chance of light showers during the morning and early afternoon hours, decreasing later in the day. By Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds, turning mostly fair at night, less than a 10% chance of showers. Sunday, partly sunny, turning mostly fair at night with a few cloudy periods. And by Monday, the start of the work week, partly cloudy to cloudy in the northern and northwest Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds, turning rain chances increasing as that front moves through. Don't forget, a lunar eclipse tonight, beginning at around 11:57, full eclipse around 3 a.m. tomorrow morning, winding up to expose that full moon, 6 a.m. tomorrow. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin Williams Paints. Sherwin Williams Paints got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin Williams Paints in store or online today. And it's time for a check of traffic, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. A reminder of the work going on in Coconut Grove on 4th Street, mainly between 9:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. This is between Bahama Avenue and Robinson Road. And you're asked to avoid the area if you can or follow the posted traffic signs. Again, that's mainly 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. today. In your real-time traffic, we're seeing heavy traffic as usual on Milo Butler Highway. And that's extending from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight through to Tonique Williams Darling Highway in the northbound lanes there. Your alternate routes like Gladstone Road, busy as well. Northbound from just north of Fire Trail straight up to Tonique, the JFK Drive and Bahamas Boulevard. Same story on Blue Hill Road, busy for you near St. Vincent. And again, very heavy near Carmichael and north of Soldier Road on the way to Independence Drive. And that's going to pick up for you as you move through the Robinson Road roundabout all the way up to Cordo Avenue if you're heading northbound. Independence Drive backed up in both directions, east and westbound at this hour. And Soldier Road at that if you're heading northbound on East Street, heavy traffic north of that intersection. Soldier Road's busy for you near Windsor Place and near Old Trail on the way to Prince Charles Drive. Slow-moving traffic on Prince Charles heading into Robinson Road westbound to Marathon. And Soldier Road is going to be busy for you straight up to Bernard Road if you're heading northbound. Eastern Road also seeing heavy traffic east and west of Fox Hill Road, mainly westbound this morning. So the usual spots seeing heavy traffic. And we're still seeing heavy traffic near downtown if you're heading on West Bay Street into downtown Nassau. Near Nassau Street, slow-moving eastbound traffic east of Arawak Key. And on West Bay near Saunders Beach as you approach the New Providence Highway. Slow-moving eastbound traffic again. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend Traffic Alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
Everybody Wins Live is bringing you the ultimate giveaway, a brand new Cybertruck. For every $30 spent, you're in the drawing for the ultimate grand prize, Cybertruck. Drawing live at the Vibes Cartel concert March 29th. You'll also be automatically entered to win tickets to see the world boss himself. 25 lucky winners every single week. Visit everybodywinlive.com to get into the game. See website for full terms and conditions. Must be 18 or over to participate.
You're a builder. You want to give your client the best material at the best prices, and you need to put food into these prices at Pinder Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68, includes VAT. By the way, all these prices include VAT. Great Select Water Shield, $134.20 a roll. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50, 30 pounds, $19.80. Owens Corning Duration Shingles and Certainty Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon Roof Cement, $33.47. When it comes to screwing and nailing, Pinder got you covered. He got every nail and screw you could possibly need.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? What's to handle? Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time.
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor in paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah. We also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Boiled shrimp,
clays.
stew shrimp, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Are you ready to elevate your day with a burst of flavor? Look no further than Dunkin', your ultimate destination for everything delicious. From our freshly brewed coffee that is sure to pick you up, to our signature frozen beverages that will cool you down. And don't forget our mouth-watering sandwiches, made to order all day. Dunkin' has it all. And of course, our lineup of fresh donuts, muffins, and more. Dive into a world of yummy flavors at Dunkin' and bring joy to your day. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Everybody Wins Live is bringing you the ultimate giveaway, a brand new Cybertruck. For every $30 spent, you're in the drawing for the ultimate grand prize, a Cybertruck. Drawn live at the Vibes Cartel concert. You'll also be automatically entered to win tickets to see the world boss himself. 25 lucky winners every single week. Visit everybodywinslive.com to get into the game. See website for full terms and conditions. Must be 18 or over to participate.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Yo soy un hombre sincero, de donde crece la palma. Yo soy un hombre sincero, de donde crece la palma. Y antes de morir, yo quiero cantar mis versos del alma. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Cultivo una rosa blanca en junio como en enero. Cultivo una rosa blanca.
Back morning blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with you on this Thursday morning, along with Laverne Gardner, and we're going to continue our conversation about just a bit longer. We've got a lot of your text messages to get to about the Bahamas' reaction to this Cuban forced labor story. And we're going to get into that in just a second. Just to remind you, coming up, we're going to be talking about Zest Festival. It's coming up in just a few weeks. Give you all the details about that. And World Consumer Rights Day is coming up in business. We'll be talking about that as well. A whole lot more to get to on this Thursday morning. All right, so we'll get to your text messages in just a bit. But you heard Prime Minister Davis, what he had to say about this. And we read for you what the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is saying about this. But Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, is also talking about this and addressed, I believe, her parliament on this matter. Some interesting words from Mia Mottley as well. Take a listen to this.
With the Cubans and the nurses, we need to know. Barbados does not currently have Cuban medical staff or Cuban nurses, but I will be the first to go to the line and to tell you that we could not get through the pandemic without the Cuban nurses and the Cuban doctors. I will also be the first to tell you that we paid them the same thing that we pay Bajans, and that the notion, as was peddled not just by this government in the US, but the previous government, that we were involved in human trafficking by engaging with the Cuban nurses was fully repudiated and rejected by us. Now, I don't believe that we have to shout across the seas, but I am prepared, like others in this region, that if we cannot reach a sensible agreement on this matter, then if the cost of it is the loss of my visa to the US, then so be it. But what matters to us is principles. And I have said over and over that principles only mean something when it is inconvenient to stand by it. Now, we don't have to shout. And I therefore look forward to standing with my CARICOM brothers. I wish I could say brothers and sisters, but brothers, to be able to ensure that we explain that what the Cubans have been able to do for us, far from approximating itself to human trafficking, has been to save lives and limbs and sight for many a Caribbean person.
Okay, all right, some powerful words there, Laverne from Mia Motley. And saying, hey, she's prepared to lose her visa over this with what has been accomplished. The great assistance the Cubans have provided for the medical industry, the education systems across the region. So, hey, all right, Laverne, you're good. Your mic is good.
Yes, okay. I'm good.
Yeah. All right, so let's. You texted me something. I want you to say that on the air. Why don't you say it, Laverne, before I call you out? You're not going to say it?
I was about to.
Okay,
maybe
let's hear you.
Not quite like that,
Well,
but a little bit more.
I want to hear you say it.
Let me say this. You see the calls that we are already getting, right? About Prime Minister Davis, and he needs to be careful and watch his words. I think everybody in the Bahamas, or just about everybody in the Bahamas, would have collapsed if Prime Minister Davis had used the words that Mia Motley used just now.
Oh, wow. If he'd said he's prepared to lose his visa. Everybody would have been
clapped. They would have, not this precious visa, Dwight.
Why? What is the difference? Is it we just that tied to the U.S. as a previous caller was saying that we can't survive without them, that we would never say such things, and the folks in the Southern Caribbean can say that because they are a lot more or a lot less dependent on them? Is that it?
Well said.
Oh, okay. That was a question. That was a question.
Sorry. Thought that was a statement.
Okay. Well, we could leave it as that. Sure. Let's read these messages. Caller, we'll get to in a second. This person says here, I know you won't read this. Oh, boy. And you are correct not to say it, but I will say it. Rubio can, my goodness gracious, how will I do this? Rubio can kiss.
You cannot.
Rubio can kiss the right to center of all Bahamians' collective blankety blanks. Wow. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. On a lighter note, the same texter. To lower the temperature, Rubio is simply trying to stop Bahamian men from going after those Cuban beauties.
That's funny.
Okay. Wow. It's a twofer there. Maybe revoking the visas of our government ministers isn't such a bad thing. It might help bring down the millions of dollars spent on unnecessary travel that they do. Every cloud has a silver lining. I mean, I think that won't apply to the visas they get for travel, right? This would be their personal visas. This would be, as I said, this would be their family members as well. So when they're not in office, the personal travel visa. They'll still be able to attend the conferences, I suspect. Mm-hmm. This person says here, It's been said for years that illegal immigration is an unspoken economic policy of the Haitian government. Illegal migrants translate to more U.S. dollars remitted to Haiti. The same concept may apply to Cuba. The more Cubans working outside the country, the more Cuba. So the government supports the movement, whether explicitly or implicitly. You're talking about our government? Speculating, but in Cuba's case, maybe they exercise a greater level of control, stipulating exactly what has been sent back and with penalties. Why should they have that much on this poor country that has suffered so much for so long? What is the end? Well, we know what the end goal is, but come on, man. Come on. Everyone around the world has been saying the U.S., please stop this now. This embargo, everything you're doing is just
everything.
Unnecessary. At this point, it did not achieve what you wanted to achieve in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and Castro's gone, and it's still going, not in your favor. What are you doing? This person says here, Dwight, who made the U.S. the police of the world? Well, okay.
The world.
Yeah, the world did it.
The world did.
And it has, let me not say that. We need to make a strategic alliance with Canada, Panama, and other countries to reduce airfare prices and promote trade. Boycott the U.S., what? And allow them to feel the consequences of their choices when they find themselves isolated from the rest of the world. Well, that's not going to help anybody. I can tell you that now, right? And when they were isolated, this is what the Prime Minister was saying. Prime Minister Davis was saying, isolationism doesn't work. The U.S. has done this many times before. And when they did this twice in the 20th century, it led to the greatest conflicts the world has ever known. And if they're doing this again, history will likely repeat itself. This is very dangerous. Since they've been the policemen of the world, we haven't had World War III. They're trying to someone is trying to make them back out of that. That's all I got to say. Pick up a history of the 20th century book and see what happens when the U.S. decides to focus on itself, only itself. This person says here, please allow me to add this. If our big brother cares so much, why is the cost of healthcare so atrociously expensive? My friend's father was charged $750,000 for an operation, while in Colombia he was charged $100,000. We need to deal with the cost of healthcare. Tell our big brother to focus on that first. Marco Rubio's unhinged from the time he made the hypocritical statement of nuking the Bahamas. That wasn't him. That was the governor of Florida.
The other one. Right.
Everything associated with Florida is often
lumped together.
Florida man, always an issue. Florida man. That's the current governor who said that. He's gone a little quiet now, thank goodness. But no, not Rubio. This person says here, it's the Trump effect. Rubio's equally off his rocker. Baptist Bible University College and Dr. Smith are doing an excellent job in training future nurses. Okay, that's somebody in response to a call earlier. GNN is partially correct. Oh boy. The Cubans get a stipend from their government, which is a small percentage of their salary. Yikes. The lion's share goes to the Cuban government. In exchange, the Cuban government pays for their accommodations and gives them money for travel and food as well. We really need to confirm this. We really need to find out that exactly how it works for everybody.
How does it
teachers.
work, right?
Yeah. So, but the government is saying they need to do their investigations, which is concerning me, right? The fact that they don't know for sure. This one says here, Dwight, nurses and teachers leave America for better pay, not only in the Bahamas. Okay. It sounds like they got you all by the short and curlies this morning. Who's that? Who does?
Who's they?
I don't know.
I don't
who's
know.
they and who's y'all? A lot of Bahamians still have the slave mentality. The pre-clearance lounge serves America's interests as well. No visa, no AUTEC base in Andros. Dwight, spelled with a Y and a T-E. And Laverne, the Prime Minister did say the right thing in his speech. It would be great if he kept the same energy by defending Bahamians from illegal immigration. The Bahamas from illegal immigration. He has never seemed to support that. Are you suggesting something else?
Yes, Dwight, they are.
Okay. All right. This one says here, I saw where the Barbados Prime Minister said they could take her visa if this is not resolved. So they are standing up for their countries. Yeah. I've met Cuban doctors, nurses, and teachers. The caller is 100% correct. They've told me that the Cuban government takes 55% of their salary. The Bahamian government knows this because they are the ones that send it to Cuba. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Just to clarify our understanding here, Rubio's positioning is for revoking visas of government officials, not the entire country. Right, officials, government officials. I think some folks are missing that point. However, it's still an issue. Mia Mottley is fearless, and we know why many can't express her sentiments. I won't be surprised that Marco Rubio may eventually resign because he has an actually level head, and Trump is putting his hand in the fire. Okay. This is a texter from earlier. The point is that some countries require their citizens who make money outside the country to send a portion of the salary back as a form of revenue for them. Do this for professional athletes. The question is, what is the difference between this and income tax? Okay. What GNN said about the Chinese workers not being paid by our government rings true. This is where Freedom of Information Act would be handy because we know our government officials won't be honest with us. Yeah. And this text says, yes, it is exploitation. Cuba has a socialist government. Government sends its professionals to foreign countries and collects a big percentage of their low-paying salaries. This is why the Bahamas uses them for cheap labor. We'll take one call on this, and we got to go. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne. A couple of points.
Good morning.
The Bahamas has a socialist government, too. And Dwight will stop getting attacked by Florida when we decide to become a county of Florida. And just another, I want to go to this thing with the nurses, right? But, Dwight, you mentioned about World War III. World War III will be fiber technology, so the Bahamas is safe. Now, on the nurses.
No, when the internet is out for 2 years.
No, that's what I'm saying. We get to know each other. We stop killing each other.
Okay.
So, but what happens
I don't know if I want... Anyway, go.
Yeah, Dwight. We'll have more time to drive around.
Oh, gosh.
But on the nurses, right? Yes, the nurses, teachers, and everything they do. But it's not just Cuba. It's also like a country. I won't mention a country, but in the Bahamas, where we get most of our maids from, they have a little slightly different thing where the government keeps 50% of their salary or split it up or something of the sort and supposedly give it to their family or save it for when they come back. Then you look at Haiti, and Haiti encourages legal and illegal immigration because their GDP depends on remittances country. So the Bahamas has been actively involved in different methodology of exploitation for our economic benefit. I think a better response, but I hope will come later, is a conversation as to what is it that we can get to be able to shift our so-called dependency on these so-called slave labor based on our economic positioning of where we are. Maybe America can subsidize and what we need to have done and stop thieving our intellectual capital, whether they go to school or whether they are done. But remember, in the last incarnation, in another incarnation, they said that they had no problem in seeking intellectual capital because it's what they need, because they too need it. And so it's up to us to actually create a strategy that is best for us, but it begins to show our dependency. Like Barbados is 40% dependent on the U.S. for their imports. We were 90-something percent. The same thing for breaking up for tourists. So this isn't just a simple answer. And the problem is that our leadership has the position of always reacting to things rather than response. Let me tell you the truth, right? Let me just understand this.
Really quickly.
When you respond to something, it means you have proper preparation. You respond to it. You react when you have no plan.
Thank you very much. This text as we go, this is odd here. This person says, why are you all defending Cuba so much? Are we doing that? Didn't they kill 4 of our military men in the Defense Force? My goodness gracious. And who helped us when Cuba attacked the Bahamas? America did. Y'all better watch yourselves and sit small. We have no say. Just comply with everything America wants. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We'll be back.
sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner with increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools. Take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity.
Are you ready to indulge in the islands of the Bahamas? Take off to TCI, hop over to Havana, or fly to Florida. No matter the destination, jumpstart your journey with Bahamas Air, the national flight carrier of the Bahamas. Take advantage of our frequent flyer program and exclusive hotel and car deals. Book your flight now at bahamasair.com or visit your local ticket sales office in Nassau or Grand Bahama. Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
Can you describe your mother in one word? Is she strong, fun, loyal? However you describe her, Pandora Jewelry is here to help you find the perfect gift for your one-of-a-kind mom this Mother's Day. Choose a piece from the all-new Bonds of Love collection, or give her something personalized like a necklace, ring, or charm from our floating locket collection. This Mother's Day, do celebrate who she is. Shop Pandora Jewelry now. Visit us at Pandora 329 Bay Street at the corner of Parliament Street.
Yes! Come on! Rick and scrap time, come on! Woo! Bohemian culture! Every Andrews Craft Fest, they deserve contest. Out of all the island people, them who can dance the best. Now you know, I forgot, I just need something fat, something built like a truck, something that I could rub. People came from Hatchet Bay, they came from the rocks. They came from Cooperstown, some gal from the block. We ain't dancing no bogle, no dirty wine and such. This a Bohemian thing, yeah, we call it the best. Woo! Belly up contest. Put your back down on the ground, lift your waist and ride it round.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you, along with Laverne Gardner, and it's called Zest Festival. It is coming up in just a few weeks. Here to tell us all about this, we are very pleased to welcome from CG Atlantic. We have Janae Hanna and Prince Blyden, and we have both Flex Barbie with us, DeKel Quant. Good morning. Great to have you all with us. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
All right, Zest Festival. This is new. This is
This is our third year.
Third year.
hosting Zest
Okay.
Festival.
All right. Tell us all about it. What is Zest Festival all about?
Well, I'll begin with just saying Zest Festival is powered by CG Atlantic Group of Companies.
Let's pull that mic down a little bit for us today.
Sure.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
Mhm.
Yes, powered by CG Atlantic Group of Companies. So events like this really showcase our strength in hosting an event of this magnitude, providing an holistic approach to wellness, like we provide an holistic approach to insurance. So if you need medical, life, pension, general, motor, car, marine, we are the place for you. So, like our company, CG Atlantic, we wanted to ensure that Zest Festival provided so tackling the physical, the intellectual, the mental, the spiritual, all in one place. Events that we host in the community have been free events like the Fitness in the Park event or our Farmers Market tour. We've partnered with vendors here locally in the Bahamas, wellness-specific vendors that are making an impact on health overall. So Zest Festival embarked to bring all of these vendors in one place to really make a strong impact on health in the community and with our clients as well.
Excellent, excellent.
And then we kind of also try to use Zest Festival to emulate what we do with our clients. So we do run a corporate wellness program for some of our medical insurance clients. where we help them with fitness, nutrition. We give a whole lot of free information as it pertains to like wellness blogs, webinars, podcasts. So we wanted to find a way to do what we do for our clients and bring that into the community aspect as well. So that's what Zest Festival is all about, giving persons who may not have access to, the best insurance, which is CG, and the ability to get a taste of what wellness is and really educate the public as to what it is out there.
Yeah. So what's the response been like? This is year 3. So the first 2, what were they like?
First 2 were good. We had our first 2 at our office space. We have a big parking lot in the back, but we've outgrown the space now.
In a big way.
So we've taken it to Nassau Cruise Port, really helping us with our environmental aspect as it relates to wellness, getting people out there and moving, just walking from your car and going into Nassau Cruise Port, you're moving. And movement is medicine.
Yeah.
So we've really tried to get everyone out into the air and coming into one place and having a good time.
Yeah, we've even extended the time a little bit because it would be at the Nassau Cruise Port from about 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Just to make sure we can encapsulate everyone who wants to come out for the entire family, speaking into the social wellness aspect of it as well.
All right. So the cruise port's known for a party atmosphere. So, I mean, this is going to be a real festival.
Definitely not. That's not what we're trying to sell. We're just trying to sell every aspect of wellness. So I'll go into more in terms of the physical. That's why we have Bowflex Barbie, who's going to be leading one of our fitness sessions, and I'll let her speak more to that specific session.
Yeah, so I'm kicking off Zest Fest with my banded boot camp. The first 50 attendees at the class will also get their own set of resistance bands. So that's, come on, work out with me. It's going to be friendly for all fitness levels. And like Janae said, the goal is to get everyone moving, get people excited about wellness in a social setting. I think the cruise port is an absolutely beautiful location for a wellness-focused event. You get, again, the environmental, you're on the water, it's beautiful, it's nice and spacious, and you have all the vendors out there that are there to support you in the different aspects of your wellness journey, from the financial side to the movement and nutrition. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see everyone come out and move and get moving. I know there's 2 other classes after me as well, fitness-based classes.
Wow.
So, you can do all of them. They're not super long, not going to be extremely difficult, but suitable for all levels.
What time are you going to be?
I kick off at 2.
Okay, so you're actually the beginning.
I am opening it up.
Great stuff.
And then following her will be Peach Fit with a cardio fat blaster, suitable for all ages and fun. If you want to strengthen those muscles, get moving, this is a great opportunity for you to come out. And if you wanted to try Peach Fit or Bowflex, you're thinking about personal training, great way to get an introduction to them for free on us.
Nice.
Following their sessions, we'll have a yoga session by Antonio Weech. So if you need to increase your flexibility, just get that body moving or cool down after you've had a good time with Bowflex Barbie and Peach Fit, that's a great opportunity for you as well.
So come up
dressed
to
for sure.
exercise.
Yeah, come dressed to move. And then after our fitness sessions, we will have appearances by Essence, Higher Level Band.
So you say
and
not a
Chromatic
party,
Band.
but that sounds like a party.
No, more so to uplift the spirit. So really,
Entertainment.
really showcasing the social aspect
social
and emotional.
wellness.
People feel good
Which
with
is
music.
part of wellness.
Yeah, and I think part of it too, using the Nassau Cruise Port, it is a bit of an unconventional location. If you want to think of wellness, and part of it is intentional because we want people to be able to realize that, hey, you can access wellness in just about any space. As you mentioned, the music and the movement from just music itself lends into that. And then we needed the space because we're thinking of financial wellness as well. We'll also have a car show aspect, so we definitely need a space there to help persons that out there who are looking or in the market for new cars. And again, CG Atlantic does offer car insurance as well. So we're trying to make sure that we encapsulate everything in one space, and maybe a bit different, maybe a bit unconventional, but it's always going to be a great time.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop, for sure.
All right. So 2 to 9 p.m. Give us the date again.
March 29th, 2025, 2 to 9 p.m. at Nassau Cruise Port.
There's a lot going on. Do you have to pay to take part in this?
Free entry.
Say that again.
Free entry.
Wow.
Free 99. So we hope to see you all there. We really wanted to make it as accessible as possible for our community and the clients. So just come out, have a good time, learn as much as you can to improve your overall well-being.
It's for the whole family as well?
For the whole family, as we'll have a kids corner. So if you just want to have your kids moving around, get them off their iPads and tablets and phones, this is a great opportunity for that as well.
Yeah.
Bring the grandparents. We have a lounge area for them to relax in our mindfulness corner, to get some chair massages, to learn more about, I know you said the financial part. CG Atlantic Pensions will also be doing a finance session. He said CIBC and Scotiabank will be out there offering competitive rates for vehicles too, if you're looking to purchase a new vehicle.
Excellent, excellent. So if people want more information about CG Atlantic, how can they do that? And so they can come prepared for this on March 29th. What do they...
Definitely, I would say follow us on social media at CG Zest Wellness on Instagram and Facebook. You can learn more about big giveaways that we have the day of the event, as well as some prizes and surprises, where parking can be available, and who our vendors specifically will be in terms of our scheduling. Also visit our website at cgzestwellness.com for all free resources that relates to our blogs, podcasts, webinars, any free fitness event or mindfulness event or nutritional event that CG Zest Wellness is putting on. You'd find all that information there as well.
And even on that website, for those of you civic organizations or looking for any information as it pertains to health, whether it's chronic disease, nutrition, fitness, on that website, you also have access to our blogs. They're free access to the public, so you can use it and disseminate. I know March is Nutrition Month, so if anyone looking for nutrition tips, there's a few blogs. You can take the points, share it with your staff, free of charge. We definitely just want to get the word out there as it pertains to wellness.
Great stuff, great stuff. And again, give us the date and the time.
March 29th, 2025, 2 to 9 p.m. at Nassau Cruise Port. We hope to see you all there. Free entry. Free entry.
And this is going to be an annual event.
This is an annual event, so you can look
on.
forward to this next year, but definitely come out and have a great time this year.
Great, wonderful stuff you're doing there. Thank you so much, Janae Hanna, Prince Blyden, and of course, Dekel Quant. Thank you for being here, both.
Almost said it.
Almost said it. Good
Thank
to
you
see you all.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to break for news and be back with more, including business, when we get back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, March 13th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And World Consumer Rights Day is fast approaching. Here to tell us all about what we're going to be doing here in the Bahamas, we welcome from Consumer Affairs. We have Ish Taylor Thompson, we have Tia Garland, and Charo Gator. Great to have you all with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Strong.
All right, so World Consumer is it, and what is World Consumer Rights Day all about?
All right, so
Charo, you going to take that?
Good morning again, Mr. Strong. Good morning, Bahamas. So World Consumer Rights Day, we're having it tomorrow, March 14th, and that'll be right there by Consumer Affairs on Tonique Williams Darling Highway at 10 a.m. So just to give you a little bit of history as to, well, what is World Consumer Rights Day? So in the 1960s, consumers, they made up the largest economic group in the United States of America, yet they had no voice. Right. They were affected by almost every public and private economic decision, yet they had no voice. They accounted for over watch this, over 66% of all spending in the U.S., yet they had no voice.
This sounds very familiar to, anyway. But, we don't get, but go on.
So here comes a hero now in the person of John F. Kennedy. He was the first person to go before the U.S. Congress to recognize consumer. That happened March 15th, 1962.
Wow.
So fast forward about 20 years later, it was officially recognized and endorsed by the United Nations. And that happened on March 15, 1983. And so that gave it international attention. And that brought us to where we are today, about to celebrate World Consumer Rights Day on tomorrow, actually, March 14th.
So the Bahamas is observing it tomorrow, but it's
Yes.
the 15th for the world.
Internationally, yes, it's
Okay.
March 15th.
All right,
And
Kish.
the only
mhm.
reason
Get a little
we
closer to the
are-
mic first, Kish.
And the only reason we are celebrating it tomorrow because it's celebrated on Saturday, and so we wanted to give the public at large an opportunity to come out tomorrow and experience the exhibition and fair and the various vendors we have with our various sponsors. We have a whole lot going on down there tomorrow,
Yes. Yeah.
and so we just want to invite the public to come out. We have so much to offer, so
All right.
many vendors.
I want to get to that in a bit, but let's talk more about, before we get to it, consumer rights here in the Bahamas and why it is important to have a day to celebrate. You mentioned some of the things.
Right.
but-
Well, here's the thing, right? That speech that John F. Kennedy made in the U.S. Congress had a lot to do with consumer safety. All right. It had a lot to do with consumers being informed and not being grossly misleading into advertisement and labeling. I'll give you an example. I just went to an appliance store the other day right here in the Bahamas to purchase an expensive piece of appliance, but I saw it online. But when I went in, guess what happened? What
double
they
the
had
price.
online and the price they had online, which I was prepared to spend, they didn't have that inside the shop. Okay, so that's misleading to a consumer. All right. He also talked about the right to be heard. Now, picture having the largest economic group. This was in the early 1960s in the United States economic group, yet they had no voice. So another one of the rights is the right to be heard. So now you can voice now when you are disgruntled or you don't feel that you had the service that you deserve, you have now a voice that can be tabled. You have a forum that you can actually speak to that and kind of vent in a sense, right?
Yeah.
What your issue may be.
Yeah.
You see?
So a lot of Bahamians don't feel that we are appreciated as consumers and that we have a voice. Is that fair? Is that unfair? Let's talk about that and the work that you all do at Consumer Affairs.
Well, here's the thing to that, right? We have a saying at Consumer Affairs, an educated consumer is the best consumer. I think what a lot of consumers need to understand is it's more of awareness. They have an avenue. Don't just walk out. You have an avenue. You can come and you can express yourself, and you can rest assured that we will have personnel who will go and address whatever your concerns or whatever your issues may be. But you just need to be aware that is there. That is an avenue that you can take.
Yeah. All right. So tell us what you all do specifically. Tia, I got to put you on the spot there. What do you all do at Consumer Affairs, and how is that different from? Does that include price control? Are you different from the CPC? Talk about all of that.
Okay, so
Get a
actually,
little closer to that mic. Thank you.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Okay, so at Consumer Affairs, we have two sections. That will be the price control and the rent control.
Okay.
CPC, believe it or not, actually came from Consumer Affairs. So it's an extension of Consumer Affairs. And that provides, CPC would provide the protection when goods and services are purchased. Consumer Affairs generally covers everything. My colleague would have mentioned that, consumers have basic rights. The right to be heard, the right to safety, the right to redress, especially, and that's what they're unaware of. So when they see us out there, they're surprised. How long have you guys? We have actually been on the ground, like Mr. Gator said, from the 1980s. We have personnel that have been working, Mr. Bow and those. We still have consultants that were on the original team, the price inspector team, that is continuing to educate the new inspectors that are going out to allow consumers to know that, hey, there is someplace that you can go. You know, price control, rent control, like I said, all of those things you have to redress. There are other agencies that have consumer protection built in it, but generally, if you have a major consumer affair or issue, we're the ones that you come down to.
All right, so we need about 4 hours for all the issues to talk about.
And in addition to what she's saying, we have over 21 inspectors that goes out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And so we inspect those stores thoroughly. We have some in the Family Islands. We have in Grand Bahama, we have 8 in Grand Bahama, 1 in North Andros, Exuma, Cat Island, Inagua, Acklins, Crooked Island. And so we are out there on a daily basis. Persons may not feel that we are out there, but we are out there protecting their rights.
Lots of questions. Laverne has a question too. Laverne, you go first.
Good morning, everyone. I recently went into a convenience store, and it had a sign posted, "No refunds, no exchanges once you've left the store." Is that a policy that a store has the right to enforce?
Okay, so I would like to address that. So actually, stores can have policies, but as it relates to the statute law of the Bahamas, you do have the right to a receipt that's built in our act. The receipt has to be detailed. It has to have what the item is, the size, the purchase price that you would have given. So even though stores do issue policies, if you see a policy and you feel a little concerned about it, you can always call in and we will tell you if there's a law that actually succeeds that. So it's okay for them to have their policies, but you do have the right to a refund. If you pay it in cash, you have the right to a cash refund.
And not just store credit.
No,
not just a store credit.
And that's a part of consumers' basic right. You have the right to choose. So you choose to get your funds back and not what they push on you.
So what if they're telling you that and you want your cash back? What should be your next step?
Your next step will be to contact our office. Plain and simple. We have inspectors that will go out. We have a follow-up team will go out. We will investigate it. And if they find to be liable to what they are saying, and then it will be further investigations and we move from there.
How long generally does that take, that investigation?
It's no time frame. Like I said, it depends on the situation. Some can vary within maybe a few days, maybe within a week. It all depends on the situation, what it is. And sometimes we have to ensure that both parties are actually, factual in what they're saying. Because sometimes not because someone comes in and say, oh, I get this. And sometimes we get that often when we get calls, oh, Super Value is overpriced. Mary Jane is overpriced. This one, sometimes when we go in and we do further inspections, based on the items that is controlled by the government, they find it to be not so.
All right, so that's important there. Control, price control, and what's controlled. So let's break down the myths. Do you all only inspect the items on the price control list, and what are those items?
Okay, so there are 11 bread basket schedule items. That includes cheese, butter, corned beef, evaporated milk, mayonnaise, rice, eggs. No, eggs. Well, actually, eggs is an extended item. So, like I said, there are 11 items and there are 11 extended items. Now, the extended items we will use because these items tend to fluctuate. So, once what we'll do is we'll take the invoice, whether it's a local invoice or an international invoice, and then we will do our markup onto it. There's a government stipulated markup that we have too, that we use. So, those are the items that we control. Now, a lot of persons will come and say, hey, I saw cornflakes at this store for $14, and then the convenience store has it for $7. As mentioned earlier, we have to be aware that we have the right to choose. You don't have to buy the $14 cornflake. It may be out of your reach, but you're not being forced to buy that. But
and that cereal doesn't come under price control at all.
No, it doesn't. Our website is actually under construction. It's being adjusted right now, but we do have a website that you can visit. We will have a lot of paraphernalia, and all this information will be displayed at our office tomorrow at World Consumer Rights Day. So we're hoping that everybody comes out. For those who are unaware that we're out here and what we do, they can come and take advantage of that information as well.
So Gator mentioned earlier appliance. If I see an appliance in the States for $800 and I see it in the store here for $4,000, I can't call price control to say, oh my gosh, what are these people doing?
No, they cannot.
That doesn't work like that. All right, that is nothing else that you inspect in terms of prices?
Well, as long as a part of our act as well, there's marking of the prices. So persons will see us in clothing stores or any store where an item is displayed for sale. So the act actually speaks to that any item that you see, it has to have any article that is displayed for sale has to have a price affixed to it. A consumer needs to know they don't have to be guessing, hey, if I came in the store with $20, I don't need you. And then sometimes persons can hackle. If there's not a price on it, they can tell you something off the top of your head. It needs to be a set stated price or some type of catalog in the store that allows the consumer to know, or a scanner that they can readily assess to display what the price will be.
Whether that's price controlled or not?
Yes.
Okay, so that's happening a lot.
Yes.
What can we do as consumers when we see that?
Well, like I say, we have a hotline that's available. It's a 24-hour hotline. They can call that. And we, like Ms. Thompson said, we have inspectors that are ready to go. Myself, my job is never completed. I am a consumer as well. So every time I go a situation, as we all do, we always note that store. And when we're back in office, we make it our point to address the situation.
Excellent. So rent control, that's a whole show, right?
Yes.
And we're hearing so many complaints about the prices going up and the lack of value for the money that you're paying. Is that a reality? Are you seeing this, that things are definitely different from when they were a few years ago?
They are, but like I said, if they come now, we will be more than happy to address that, because rent control can take us weeks to discuss. Okay, but there's a rent control act as well, while it's being amended as well, everything. So as we're evolving, things have to change, because things are certainly different from it was back then. So we're addressing those issues concerning what would have been antiquated in the act. But once I say they can come down, if they're concerned about any rent issue, they can come down to our office, and we have officers that will help us.
Tenant issues and squabbles and disagreement.
Yes, we do.
So that keeps you busy, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it does.
Wow. Okay. So one day we'll have you back to discuss what a landlord can do and what a landlord cannot do,
Definitely.
and what tenants should and should not be doing.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about what we're going to be seeing tomorrow.
Yes, it's an exciting event, Mr. Strachan. It's World Consumer Rights Day exhibition and fair. Like I said, we have over 23 vendors. We have lots of sponsors. We have so much giveaways. In fact, we had created a art exhibition for the school students that is also going to be on display. We're going to be announcing the winner there tomorrow as well. Right. And we have so much to offer. We had a Green Thumb initiative that was created within our workspace. Yes. And so we're so excited about that, to see who the winner will be for that, where they were able actually to bring in like small seeds of all kinds of products. And listen to me, in the back of our yard at work is blooming so beautifully, because you have so much products that is being, you wouldn't even have thought of, is being the lettuce, we have onions, we have potatoes. And so it's just to encourage persons about the life, the sustainability of it. And that is what we're here to encourage, because this year's theme centers around that, a just transition to sustainable lifestyle.
Wow, okay.
And that is what we're promoting, and we're trying to steer more towards that and encourage consumers to take that route.
And it's not that difficult, Mr. Strachan. It's easy, you know. What we have accomplished over the past month at Consumer Affairs with the Green Thumb initiative. Listen, man. Listen, whatever you put in the soil is going to grow, you know. But you got to first put it there.
Yeah.
Right? You make life easy. You understand what I'm saying? Make it affordable for you. You understand what I'm saying? So like my colleague said, Ms. Taylor, I am excited about that day. I'm excited about that day. A lot is going to be going on. Matter of fact, is all the parents who have to pick up their children at 3 o'clock tomorrow, listen, don't go straight back to work, or don't drop them off right away. Come out there. Yes. Come out there and see what we're about. See what it is that they have to offer there. It's going to be interesting, my brother.
We're going to have so much. We're going to have local shopping, information about sustainable farming, clean energy initiatives. You're going to even have where you have the opportunity to actually purchase organic eggs.
Take that. That's right.
Yes, and so persons have been complaining about the inflate on stop by where you can get your eggs for a very low price. Like I said, we have so many vendors. I know I'm probably not permitted to say some of the vendors, but we have so many, and believe you me, they have so many prizes, so many giveaways. And Mr. Strachan, you yourself will be there, so you will be able to.
You will be able to broadcast live. The foundation with Hal Grant's going to be out there.
Yes.
12 o'clock. All right, so remind folks where this is.
This is we will have the opening ceremony at 10 a.m. Our minister, Mr. Michael Alcides, Senator Honorable Michael Alcides, will be our keynote speaker along with other government officials. And so we start at 10 a.m. and we end the opening ceremony at 12 p.m. The exhibition goes on until 5 p.m. So everybody have an opportunity to stop in and see what each vendor. We also have a blood drive that's going to be going on there from the blood bank. We have free health screening. So you have works that you can expect tomorrow down there at Tonique Williams Darling Highway.
And the eggs for sale, not the chicken. Let me just make that clear.
All right, so where exactly on Tonique Williams Darling?
We're in the building right next to Sunburst Paint.
Okay.
And so for persons who may not know what that is, it's where road traffic is, right next to.
West of it, yes.
Yes. So can't miss it. Green building tents.
You're going to see all the tents, the flyers, the music. Listen, we're going to have everything going on down there. So you would want to stop. Trust me. And you would know when you stop there, you will know this is the Office Consumer Affairs where you need to be. And so for all your consumer related matters in the future, you will know that's where you need to stop in for.
Okay. All right. This is going to be a very exciting day. One more time, let people know the time and exactly where it is and why they need to come out there.
It's 10 a.m. tomorrow, Tonique Williams Darling Highway. It's right beside Sunburst Paint. And this is because we're celebrating World Consumer Rights Day under the theme, A Just Transition to Sustainable Lifestyle. They can also follow us on our social media handles on Facebook at Consumer Affairs, which we will be broadcasting live tomorrow, on our Instagram page, and of course, TikTok at Consumer Price Control Bahamas.
As you said, if you have questions, you have concerns as a consumer, if you're a renter or landlord, come out and this, despite all the exciting things happening, you can get these answers.
You can get part of our mandate really is to educate. Okay, so education is key. For those business merchants that are unaware as well, they can just come on now. We're going to educate everybody.
And may I add, Mr. Strachan, we do have Friday pop-ups every other Friday where we have a team goes out to various food store locations and we are there. So if you see us out there on a Friday in our uniform sitting right outside the food stores, please come up. We do surveys, we ask for questions from you, we ask your feedback, and we do apply those so we can better serve you and better help you.
Wow.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So if consumers want more things added to the price control list, what do they need to do to get that?
That's above our pay grade. Yes, we will have to speak with our minister on that, and yes, in hopes that will be established sometime in the near future. But we have been getting feedback based on our survey for that. We've been getting a request a lot for that as it relates to fruits and vegetables and those things. But like I said, that is something that will have to go before the minister, and he will make that determination. We don't make that ourselves. But we do appreciate everybody's feedback and what they say to us, and we do take it seriously. And we
Absolutely.
Great stuff. So tomorrow's going to be wonderful. Again, if people want more information about consumer affairs in general, how do they find you all on social media, websites, phone numbers? What can you tell us?
Okay, and so they can find us on Facebook at Consumer Affairs, Instagram at Consumer Affairs Unit, and on TikTok at Price Control Bahamas. And our telephone numbers, our hotline, this is the number you would want to take, 376-1157. And our office phone number is 604-9002. And like I said again, we're located on Tonique Williams Darling Highway, right beside Sunburst Paint.
Excellent stuff. Thank you all for being here this morning. We're going to set up a time to talk about the rent.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for having us.
Kish Taylor Thompson, Tia Garland, and Charo Gator. Thank you so much for being here this morning. They were playing shy earlier, but look at that. All that information there. Again, happy World Consumer Rights Day to all of you and to everybody.
Yes. Because we're all consumers.
You better believe it. Better believe it. We'll be back after the break. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
da 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 da. Take the devil out of you, just like the Goombas do. Ha! First you build a fire and it gets higher, higher and higher, higher and higher, and they get wilder, wilder and wilder, till the devil's in the fire. So, Goombe, Goombe, do da 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 da, Goombe, Goombe, do da 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 da. Take the devil out of you, just like the Goombas do. Come on, Goombe, Goombe, do da 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 da, Goombe, Goombe, do da da da.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Here's a price list of some of the roofing material we carry at Pinda Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68. Gray Select Water Shield, $134.20 a roll. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50. 30 pound, $19.80. Owens, Corning Duration Shingles, and Certain Teed Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon of roof cement, $33.47. All sizes treated dimensional lumber. And of course, we have all nails and all screws. We have 5/8 sheetrock, $28.76. Half-inch sheetrock, $22.18. All prices include VAT.
Spring is in the air, and so are the rewards. The Water and Sewage Corporation wants to thank you for staying on top of your bills when you pay to win one of 3 Easter baskets filled with exciting surprises. Pay in full before your due date. Complete the entry form, and you'll be entered to win. Visit our social media pages for details. Hop to it and win with the Water and Sewage Corporation. Hurry! Offer ends April 17th.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Hola, República Dominicana. Send 3 money transfers using GK Money Services Western Union, and you'll be automatically entered to win a trip for 2 to Punta Cana. Prize includes airfare, transportation, and 3 nights at an all-inclusive resort. Follow us on social at GKMSBAH for more info. Hola, República Dominicana. Send today with the Grace Community Money Services and Western Union. Promotion ends March 31, 2025.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you to CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL and noted Caribbean economist Marla Ducra, telling Garden Business that she does not think the Bahamas' agreement to comply with the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development's global minimum tax, is a good idea, given that countries like the U.S., which sponsored its implementation, at this time are not going through with the implementation. Ducran, who made the comments on the sidelines of the RF Economic Outlook at Bahamar yesterday, explained that there are better ways for the Bahamas' government to improve its revenue intake than a corporate tax that complies with an agreement that is no longer going to be. She said, quote, I think trying to comply with the OECD when in fact the U.S., which is one of the main sponsors of the OECD, Pillar 1, Pillar 2, global minimum tax approach, they were never able to legislate it. And now U.S. President Donald Trump has pulled out of it entirely. Why are we trying to comply with something that has now basically fallen flat on its face? I think that is not the best move for the Bahamas right now, especially given that you're trying to get your economy back up and running. Ducaran explaining that it might have been prudent for the country to wait and see what the results of the United Nations Framework Convention on International Tax Cooperation are before agreeing to tax large corporations in the Bahamas. More on our comments in today's Guardian Business section. Bahamas is set to undergo $38 million in capital improvements despite being in the red for March year on year. President of Bahamas, Graham Davis, says that his resort is 9% in the red year on year compared to last March, but for April they are up by 8% year on year, shifting into the full brunt of the Easter holiday season. He was speaking at the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association's Directors and Membership meeting. Davis says they're cautiously optimistic for the remainder of the year. They're watching what's happening in the United States as there is a lot of uncertainty. He says, quote, we're very, very cautious about what's happening out there and with the economy in the U.S. and with the Canada noise that's happening with the potential of shifting tourism away from the United States, there is some potential upside with Canadian business down to the Bahamas. Turtlegrass Resort and Island Club's environmental consultant petition asking Bahamian environmentalists and concerned citizens to urge the government to protect the marine ecosystem of Samson Key in the Exumas by not allowing investment firm Integra to dredge on the island where there is turtlegrass, baby conch, and turtles thrive. The statement explains that the petition already has 500 signatures. Kerry is calling on the Bahamian government to immediately halt the project, which he said threatens one of the country's most pristine ecosystems. The Consumer Protection Commission resolving 11 complaints so far this year, totaling more than $15,000, according to Senator Randy Roll giving his contribution to the mid-year budget debate in the Senate yesterday, adding that there are 33 ongoing cases valued at over $47,000. And NASA and Paradise Island Promotion Board CEO Joy Gibberlew says that the Promotion Board's website has 3.2 million visitors, with 2/3 of them being new users. She was speaking at the Hotel and Tourism Association's meeting yesterday, saying that in terms of website, we cater for them as they continue to see strong growth and have attracted more visitors than previously. Overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump threatening a 200% tariff on European wine, champagne, and spirits if the European Union goes forward with the planned tariff on American whiskey. The European tariff, which was unveiled in response to steel and aluminum tariffs by the U.S. administration, was expected to go into effect on April 1st. But Trump, in a morning social media post, vowed a new escalation in his trade war if the EU pushes ahead with the planned 50% tariff on American whiskey. He posted, quote, if this tariff is not removed immediately, the U.S. will shortly place a 200% tariff on all wines, champagnes, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU-represented countries. This will be great for the wine and champagne business in the U.S. The Republican president on Wednesday had signaled that he intended to take the action. Trump, in announcing the new steel and aluminum tariffs on Wednesday, openly challenged U.S. allies to and vowed to take back wealth stolen by other countries and drew quick retaliation. He has separate tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, with plans to also tax imports from the European Union, Brazil, and South Korea by charging reciprocal rates starting April 2nd. The EU announced its own countermeasures, saying that as the United States was applying tariffs worth $28 billion, they were responding with countermeasures worth 26 billion euros, or about $28 billion. Those measures cover not just steel and aluminum products, but also textiles, home appliances, and agricultural goods. And Trump throwing a curveball at China by linking the fentanyl issue to his tariffs on imports. The Chinese government is swinging back. First, it issued a report detailing its efforts to control the illegal trade of fentanyl, specifically the ingredients for the opioid that are made in China. Then the Chinese foreign minister blasted the U.S. for responding to Beijing's goodwill with tariffs. And this week, Chinese officials expressed their indignation at a rare background briefing with journalists. The foreign minister telling journalists that in the spirit of humanity, China assisted the U.S. in various ways. Quote, the U.S. should not meet good with evil or even impose arbitrary tariffs. No responsible major country should do that. Trump cited the fentanyl issue, as the reason for imposing a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports in early February, on top of any existing duties. He doubled that to 20% earlier this month. He also cited fentanyl among with other reasons for imposing tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Vaccines could be a key means of suppressing bird flu and avoiding the slaughter of millions of chickens, which is blamed for egg prices averaging around $6 in the U.S. and more in other parts of the world. But the move has been delayed in part because it jeopardized chicken exports worth billions of dollars a year. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced plans to spend $100 million to study bird flu vaccines to fight the disease in concert with meat, chicken, egg, and turkey groups. That's part of a larger $1 billion effort to invest in more protections to keep the virus off farms that U.S. President Trump believes will help to lower egg prices. Chicken meat producers remain the most resistant to vaccines because of concerns they could harm meat exports, which totaled nearly $4.7 billion last year. Egg and turkey producers sell most of the products in the U.S. and have been hit hardest by the bird flu. And Japan has cut its estimate for its economic growth in the last quarter of the year to a 2.2% annual pace from 2.8% as consumer spending hit demand. The Cabinet Office saying this week that Japan's real gross domestic product, which measures the sum value of a nation's goods, also was lower due to higher private inventories than earlier reported. It was the third straight quarter of expansion, with the government maintaining that the economy is moderately recovering. On a quarter-to-quarter basis, seasonally adjusted real GDP grew 0.6%, revised from 0.7%. Private demand shrank 0.3%, worse than the 0.1% given earlier. Exports grew 1% instead of the 1.1%. Unlike the U.S. and some other nations, Japan has been dogged by deflation, and these lower prices stifle growth, but recent wage growth has kept deflationary trends in check. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday. Your market movers, Bank of the Bahamas, moving 1,640 shares, closing up 5 cents to 4.50. Focall moving 1,900, up 10 cents to 6.10. Consolidated Water down 3 cents to 5.63. Anywhere Incorporated down 9 cents to 9.98. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,015.19, up 0.03. That's your market. That is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Quite a bit in the business news to talk about. Laverne, we'll get to your favorite topic, Trump and tariffs.
Okay.
Trump and tariffs in a bit. I mean, it's really getting out of control now. Proposing or threatening a 200% retaliatory tariff on European wines. Yeah, okay. All right. We'll get to that in a second. But interesting comments coming from Marla Ducran, the noted Caribbean economist. Our Chester Robards writing about that, saying that the Bahamas should not comply with the OECD minimum tax. This is the corporate tax that the government has been touting as potentially raising quite a bit of money for the country. But Ducran, everything has changed now that Donald Trump is the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And she's saying that Trump has backed out of this. He doesn't want to impose this. And with the U.S. being a major sponsor of the OECD, and if they're not going to do this, why would anybody else do it? That's basically what she's saying. What impact will that have? We heard from the government. We heard from the Economic Affairs Minister, Michael Alkitis. We've heard from the Prime Minister how much money we'd be able to get from the companies that would fall in line with those big corporations that generate the amount of money that we'd be able to tax here. Without that, what would that mean? Where would that money come from that they were looking forward to? Let's get your reaction to that. It is a great point, right? People are concerned about so many things now that the U.S. is pulled out of it. What will happen to the WHO, the World Health Organization, and more with the programs that have saved lives all over the world? If they aren't going to be donating the money to this, if they aren't going to be a part of it, what will that mean? This is a new world order. It's shaping up to be, at least. Everything that has been in place for 50, 60 years is being upended.
It's now changed, yeah.
And are we prepared? Do we have a plan for that? Here. What?
I don't think we do.
You got to say that louder. Don't be a mere motley. Say it with your chest.
Well, I usually use my voice to say stuff, but okay.
Okay. You don't think we do? I don't think we do.
I don't think we do.
Yeah.
I don't think we do.
Will be great to
I don't think
hear.
that we have a plan, but I can tell you we better start seriously coming up with one.
My goodness. Let's get your reaction to it, folks. We will wait to see what the response is to what Ducranci is. People pay attention to when she speaks. We've heard some people say she doesn't take some other things into consideration, specific to the Bahamas. But what do you make of it? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. You can, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, people realize that all these tariffs and trade wars going on has a potential on setting off World War III? Because the reason why I'm saying this is, right, a lot of countries are extremely pissed off with Donald Trump right now, to be ready or appropriate. I want to use another word, what they are right now, but I'll just use the word pissed off. They're really ticked off right now with Trump and all his tariffs, right? And it's really going to set the whole world probably in another recession. It's actually inevitable if they keep this up. One question to you, right, is do you think Donald Trump is intentionally trying to set another recession? Because this is the only thing that's taking place right now. All these tariffs going up 100%. It's like he's actually making up these numbers at this point. It makes absolutely no sense what he's doing, and to me, they're actually playing games with people's lives.
Okay, thanks a lot. I don't know if it's intentional. They've asked him about it. He says no, he doesn't think so, but he has said, and his people have said that things may, I'm paraphrasing, but things may get a little difficult at first, but in the end, it'll be glorious and amazing and the best ever in the history of the world. Those are the type of things they say. But he's definitely upsetting the apple cart. And some of that might, sure. But are they sure of the consequences of it, right? They have a plan. Will it necessarily go the way they think? At what cost, right? So before we take the other calls, just letting you know, so the government of the Bahamas was anticipating by imposing this 15% corporate income tax that they could get up to, or over actually, $140 million annually. Over $140 million annually. Boy. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller, you're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
I think as Bahamians, we really need to stop feeding into alarmist behavior. When we look at the news, especially when we look at certain news houses, the way that they project the news is giving us the anxiety to think that things that are being done are contrary to our interests. When what's best for our interest is to ensure that we have business operating in our country, that we have international companies coming to our country so that our people can be employed, so that we have money flowing in our country. And anybody will tell you around the world taxes are regressive. And so if we're going to be serious about what we're going to do, we have to do what's best for the Bahamas. Not what's best for the OECD, not what's best for the world agenda, but what's best for the agenda of the Bahamian people. And so we have to stop looking at international organizations and thinking they have our best interests at heart, because they don't, ever.
So
They have
you're
their interests
agreeing
at heart.
with Marla Dukran that we should not comply with this?
Absolutely not. It was actually asinine when they suggested it in the first instance. But we're so slated to use taxation as all of the things that we think we need to fund when we have sufficient taxes now. Think about the amount of taxes that we pay as personal Bahamians. Think about that. How much more expensive do you think it's going to be to live here? And how many companies do you think are now going to move their companies to Ireland or to Dubai or to Singapore, to all these other places that don't have any subject to any of these things? So there are millions of countries around the world, a million people around the world who have money and companies who do business, and they're looking for places that are safe. And if we want to be in the business of having international companies come here, we need to maintain the low tax jurisdiction that we have and not implement such a regressive behavior. Because we're not going to have the business. They're going to go elsewhere.
So,
guaranteed.
Again, the government was looking at over $140 million annually. Where would we find that money if we don't do corporate income
But we didn't have the $140 million before.
But we desperately need it.
No, but desperately needed when we have the highest important that you can ever count. We have the money. It's just where we put the money, what we get. What do we spend it on? Did we not have a whole uproar the other day about travel budgets? That was then, how come we didn't use this money here or there? We have billion-dollar projects going on in the Bahamas. Why haven't we tapped into the revenue source that they bring? Why are we still giving concessions to people who don't need it? That is the issue. It's about how we tax, where we tax, and what we tax. That is the issue. And if we're not focused on putting our tariffs in the right place for the right reasons, then trust me, these are speaking points. We need $160 million. That's just a talking point for Mr. Al-Qaeda and the Prime Minister to suggest that now this is more money that we're walking out of the door. We didn't have it before. We just need to focus on what's best for the country, and trust me, if that taxation comes in and they tax these companies, look how we're getting taxed now on business license. I don't know if you have business, but I have one. And I've had to pay my business license fee twice this term because they want me to pay next year's fee and this year's fee. And I know many people are going through this.
Yeah.
So our taxes are put in the wrong place for the wrong reasons, for the wrong people.
Thank you very much. Before I let you go, though, you started off by saying that it's the media that's reporting things in a strange way. Why are you saying that like that? How?
Well, we are geared to watch MSNBC, CNN, all of these people who say, taxes, look what Trump is doing every minute. But I agree with the lady who just was at the Business Outlook. The reason why he's resetting the way in which these tariffs are is because America has been suffering when it comes to importation issues, right? They have been getting the short end of the stick the whole time because the other administrations feel like they should be giving away a lot. He's trying to reset the paradigm so that when exports are coming from the United States, that there is a fair level playing field, because I don't know if you know, but goods coming from China are cheaper because they have less tax for importation in the United States. But goods are more expensive from the United States going out because of the taxation structure. So he's just resetting the paradigm, and it may hurt us for a very short period of time, but it's going to benefit at the short-term measure. So if your wine that you love from Paris is going to cost you an extra $12, don't buy it now until this price comes back down. Because trust me, it will. And another issue that we may not like, but will be happening, Russia is going to return to the economic playing field when this war is all over and done. And I can guarantee you the fact that they've taken their ruble and connected it to gold is going to be a big game changer around the world, because everybody's going to continue doing business with them like they're doing now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, hopefully the wine thing won't affect us, right? As I believe, we'll get ours directly from Europe, not through the U.S. I hope they're not doing that. Good Lord. Let's take a couple more calls. We're running out of time. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Hi, caller. Good morning.
Yes, Dwight. How you doing?
Hi.
I want to sit next to that lady in the class because she's absolutely correct in almost everything she said. Because we're supposed to be privacy and low tax. We're trying to promote ourselves as secrecy and no tax. And so, and you asked where to get the money from, Dwight. Let's develop Grand Bahama. If we could just add $1.6 billion to the GDP that actually flows into the hands of Bahamians in an inclusive and ownership economy, and the government get taxed just one time, 10%, that's $160 million there. The problem is that we have no plan for ourselves, so other people are have us working their plans. And it goes again to say, all of these things the government is doing, have you ever seen a real white paper, a real policy paper, anything that we can analyze, critique, and anything? No, because again, we are reacting rather than responding. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. Hello?
Good morning, yes.
Yes. This whole thing about taxes is kind of farce. It is so much larger than taxes for the U.S. The U.S. for the past 50, 60 years has changed their America First policy. And they changed it for a very good reason after World War II. And the geopolitical advantage and strategic advantage that the America has that gives them or allows them to be the world superpower is what is at stake in all of this. Trump is not a student of history, obviously. He does not realize what has happened over the past 100 years that caused America to turn away from that America First policy into aiding the world. Yeah. Aiding the world has given America its superpower status. And so the tariff is, unfortunately for us in the Bahamas, we are tied at the hip with America. So we will suffer. We will suffer whatever that negative result is. We will suffer that.
Yeah.
But this whole thing about it's just the tariffs and the taxes, that's a farce. It's much greater than that. And America is going to pay greatly. Their status as world superpower will be waning away after the Donald demits office. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, so back to really quickly as we wrap up the show, back to what Marlo Dukran is saying and advising not to comply with the corporate income tax issue there. So I'm reminded that the government added legislation to top up so that these companies can do things in the country and write off some of their taxes. So it would be favorable to them to, unlike what the caller was saying, the previous caller, to still try to do this here, as opposed to looking for some other jurisdiction that wasn't complying. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to the response to what Dukran says. No guarantee that they will respond, but perhaps the media will go after the rest of what she's saying. But as we've seen, this is the thread of the morning, Laverne, Trump, whether it's dealing with Cuba or tariffs, taxes, whatever it is, everything is in flux right now.
Yes.
And for every country on the planet. What we were dealing with 2 years ago and what we will be dealing with this year and the next 2 years, going to be very different things. So these are interesting times indeed. Interesting times. Laverne, thank you so much for being here. Really
Always
appreciate
a pleasure.
it. I'll talk with you again soon. Have a great weekend. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.